Man has hunted since the beginning of time. What began with crude weapons and animal images scrawled on cave walls has developed into a multi-million-dollar industry. From the Tilton Hiltons to the mansions in the Marsh, we hunt and we cook. Everything from rabbits and raccoons to deer and ducks, while learning about the passion of sportsmen through the ages. Man's love affair with hunting is really not about the kill, but how to prepare a sumptuous wild game banquet after the hunt. Now get that camouflage apron and join me, Chef John Folse, for another Taste of Louisiana.
Funding for After the Hunt with Chef John Folse is brought to you by the Baton Rouge Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. Day is dawning on the Mississippi River and the sun is shining on Baton Rouge. Attractions, shopping, food, and Southern hospitality you know and love. Go BR and go brighter. And the Foundation for Excellence in Louisiana Public Broadcasting. Our mission is to tell Louisiana's story to the world. And by the Louisiana Department of Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. Vacation planning guides are available at louisianatravel.com. You wait all year for your vacation. Don't sleep through it.
All right! What's going on? Nice to see you. How you doing? Good to see y'all. Hey, man, good to see you. Doing all right? Hello, how you doing? Nice to see y'all. Nice to see you. Hey, thank y'all so much, Bobby. Hey, everybody, thank y'all so much for joining me in Sportsman's Paradise today for another edition of A Taste of Louisiana. I'm absolutely thrilled to have all of you in the studio audience, as well as all of you around the country who wish this moment you were here with us in person. I want to thank our kitchen musicians, Bobby Lonero and the New Orleans Express. There they are, huh? Hey. Absolutely fantastic guys. You know, y'all, in Louisiana, there are hunting camps, and then there's hunting camps. We had the opportunity to head to Cameron Parish down near the Gulf Coast to one of the great hunting and fishing areas of southwest Louisiana. And while the waterfowl and hunting and fishing are so fabulous there, Laura and Buddy Leach's dedication to coastal restoration and preservation are unsurpassed in that area. Let's take a look. We visited many hunting camps and lodges throughout the state of Louisiana, each one with its own unique features and opportunities. While Grosse Savanne also offers fabulous waterfowl hunting and fishing, this mansion in the Marsh is also an education center. Laura Leach and her brother inherited 50,000 acres of prime southwest Louisiana marshland from their parents. The family built a gorgeous 3-story resort in the midst of Cameron Parish. In the past 5 years, Hurricanes Rita and Ike destroyed this facility twice, but Grosse Savanne, meaning big pasture, rose from the tragedy. Because of the devastating hurricanes and coastal erosion, a bit of this paradise is lost with every passing day. 750,000 of Cameron Parish's 900,000 acres are coastal wetlands. Coastal erosion is a phrase that slips easily from the tongue, but Laura and her husband Buddy are dedicated to educating children and adults alike on what is a marsh, why is it important, and what will happen should we lose it.
The marsh is really something that I had to learn is a living entity, but it's just not a lot of grass out there. It's all there for a reason.
People don't really understand what the devastating effect of a hurricane is, but it's Mother Nature's way, you know, and we can't fight Mother Nature, so we have to live with it and understand and deal with what she has given us.
Seeing the beauty of the marsh gives coastal erosion a whole new meaning. This land was once traversed by Native Americans, the debonair and shrewd pirate Jean Lafitte, Civil War soldiers, farmers and trappers, and fishermen. The route to Grosse Savanne takes you down the Creole Nature Trail All-American Road, one of the first routes in the nation so designated by the Federal Highway Administration. This region is home to 28 mammal species, millions of monarch butterflies, 35 amphibian and reptile species, and over 130 species of fish. Here lies the endpoint of the Central and Mississippi flyways, so this region nests 300 species of birds, making southwest Louisiana one of the top 10 bird watching spots in the United States. As many as half of all land birds that breed in eastern North America are believed to pass through this area twice a year. Near to Grosse Savanne are 3 national wildlife refuges, a state wildlife refuge, a bird and butterfly sanctuary, and a 200-acre cypress swampland rookery where herons, egrets, grosbecs, ibis, roseate spoonbills nest. Now don't forget, there's unbelievable waterfowl hunting at Grosse Savanne as well.
And we do hunting in the fall with alligator and teal and duck, and then fishing, and we're really interested in getting our birding going.
But don't think you'll be roughing it here at Grosse Savanne. First-class accommodations are complete with private baths, jacuzzis, tubs, and private porches. At the heart of the lodge is the great room, and adjacent to that, the game room. Great for relaxing after a wonderful day of hunting, fishing, boating, and birding. Unique to the lodge are the wall murals by Louisiana artist Brian Bourgeois. These paintings beautifully capture southwest Louisiana's marsh and prairies. Shadow boxes adorn many walls showcasing our wildlife, and one display will eventually showcase Louisiana's protected species. Of course, what would a hunting lodge be without a few memories of the hunt, paintings of favorite dogs, and duck stamps from seasons past? In Louisiana, our lives are uniquely linked to the land and water. And there's no better place to experience the wonders of this wilderness paradise called Louisiana than right here at Grosse Savanne. All right. Hey, y'all, thanks so much for being here with us in the kitchen today. And did you think immediately of roughing it when you saw Grosse Savanne, huh? Did you think about roughing it? I've been to a few camps in my life. I have Marshall Scarsborough sitting right in the front row here from Popeyes. I know you do a lot of hunting. Is that the type of places you hang out in? I don't think many of us hang. But what great hosts and hostesses they were as we went out, not only to, first of all, look at wildlife and look at bird life, but also the great work they're doing in conservation, which is so important, marsh conservation. And one thing about hunters, nobody spends more time, in my opinion, trying to protect the natural habitat of all of our animals than the hunters out there. So I certainly want to thank the Leach family for the great job that they do. All right, y'all, you ready to cook, huh? You ready to cook something? All right. This is a duck. Huh? This is a duck. Huh? Oh, it seems that you raised these so you already know it, huh? Is that what you're telling me? You must have these running around your yard. This is a little wild mallard duck, y'all. Just a beautiful little duck. And, of course, I've taken the breast off because you know what we're doing today? I love right here on Taste of Louisiana to talk about the unique cultures that make Louisiana so fantastic. And as I look around this audience, I see a lot of different cultures sitting here today, and I'm hoping you can trace that lineage all the way back. As I'm doing today with this particular dish, I'm doing a dish from our Asian cultures. It was the Manila men who first came here many years ago in the shrimp industry from the Philippines to set up the dried shrimp business. And, of course, they created a great industry there. And after the Vietnam War, we had the Vietnamese come in, the Laotians, and, of course, the Thai populations. And all of them add to our gumbo pot called the Creoles, the mixtures of the Creoles. So that's what I'm doing today, paying homage to them. I have some of the duck breasts here. I'm going to just turn them quickly. I've taken, look at that beautiful. Can you see this, how gorgeous that is? Nice and golden brown here, just beautiful. I don't want to cook this too much because this is a dish I'm going to turn it and move them right out onto my platter because they've cooked very quickly so I can come back and tell you exactly what's here. Let me turn off that hot fire here. So I've taken the breast off of the duck, and then I have it right here. And I'm going to season the breast as I did before I went into the skillet right there with anybody a little duck cooking out there? Huh? Any good duck cooks? One person? Huh? I mean, what do you eat? Sportsman's paradise. Wild game, ducks flying through your living room. What do you eat, huh? Nothing? I tell you, I want to talk to a few of you after them. Okay, so I have the ducks here, and that's what I did. Then I went right into the skillet. Now I'm going to throw, now that I've taken the breast out, I have all of the drippings of the duck. And John, I'm going to throw some nice shallots down in here just to start to brown them. I'm going to throw a little bit garlic, just a little bit garlic. Huh? A little bit more. I want to get it all up. Huh? Somebody says, I don't really like wild game. I said, pile on garlic. Huh? That'll take care of it right there. Just get it on in there. So while this is sauteing, y'all, I want to talk. I have to introduce John Segal from Pontchartrain Vineyards, sitting right here, one of our great Louisiana vineyards. John's been a great guest with us before, and sitting right next to him, just a really wonderful friend of mine, Dutch Prager, the Prager company in New Orleans for generations, was just such a fabulous engineering, and we'll talk about that a little later. But Dutch, thanks for being here as well. Yeah. Dutch Prager right there. John, as one of Louisiana's premier vineyards and winemakers, when you think of duck, waterfowl like this, what do you immediately think about pairing with it? Is it about the recipe, or is it about the meat?
It's probably about the recipe. I think the meat, the type of meat, the type of game that we're talking about kind of sets the stage. But in the last analysis, it's how that particular dish is prepared, finely seasoned, and finished that dictates whether or not the wine and the food are going to be really doing what you want them to do.
Well, yeah,
together.
because here we have ginger, garlic, chili paste, because this is a Thai chili duck I'm making right here. This is the sauce I'm making. So when you talk about those really potent, really in-your-face flavors, certainly the wine has to be seriously considered.
Well, you open up with a very complex problem here. I know it's in this
Well, we're
dish.
not going to solve it today.
That's right.
I can tell you, this is a 30-minute show, John. Huh? Give me a swig. Let me taste it and see if it. Let me see if it goes, huh?
Let me just lighten your burden here right in.
Let me taste that, huh?
Yeah.
This will go with anything from fish, game, birds, venison, wild boar. It'll go, John. It'll go. No, now tell us about the varieties of grapes that you grow at the vineyard.
Okay, we in our part of the world we specialize in two varieties of grape: a white called Blanc du Bois, and it's an aromatic white, kind of in the Moscato type family of wine grapes. Sauvignon Blanc, like Pinot Gris Blanc. That's that sort of white. We also grow a Native American variety called Norton or Cynthiana, two different names for the variety of grape, but let's call it Norton for today. And it produces our wine we call Rouge Militaire. And it's a wine that would be suggestive of a Old World Burgundy, or certainly a wine from the eastern part of France. And I think when we're talking about game,
that'd be a perfect.
This is a Louisiana story. All continue to unfold.
Well, hey, look, I realize that tasting your wines, tasting your new port that came out, just absolutely fantastic. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the reds that go with this. Bringing y'all back to the skillet, everybody. I've added ginger. I've added a little chili paste to this. I'm going to add a little stock. Y'all following me here? The duck, y'all are, huh? I know you seem like you're thinking to yourself, well, I've cooked something similar to that before. Why am I interested in that? Is that what you're thinking? Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit more of the duck stock in here. You can use beef stock. You just want to kind of get that paste nice and liquidy here. I'm going to just, at this point, again, add just a little touch of fish sauce to it like that. And I'm going to let that simmer. And, y'all, that's going to cook just for a couple of minutes more. We're going to come back to this. And just a couple of weeks ago or so, I went into one of the great hunting camps of Louisiana. And I went in and Chip Viallon showed me how to do one of the greatest teal dishes I've ever eaten. Why don't y'all watch this while I finish this dish? Well, we're here again at the duck camp right near White Castle, Louisiana, with Chip Viallon. And now this is interesting. You're a camp cook, but you're a pharmacist right here in the White Castle area,
That's
right?
And we've been in the pharmacy business since 1870.
Now, well, that explains why we're using this.
Well, we have We have to bring some medical devices in with it.
Oh, I tell you, camp cooking is one of a kind. Now we're doing Chip Viallon's teal ducks, which I have to tell you, I have used this recipe more after I learned to cook it from you than any recipe I think I've done in camp cooking. Now, the first thing we have to do is to kind of show that we're taking onions and celery, bell pepper, all of those nice things. We put it into a little Cuisinart here, a little food processor. We chop it up until it comes out with this texture right here.
Almost like a puree, John.
And it has onion, celery. We put some Creole seasoning in it, so it's really well seasoned.
Correct.
Now, let's show everybody. In fact, this is what I did here, and I'll just show you this. I just took my onions, put them in this little food processor, and then I kind of zap them around just a little bit like that until we puree them, that's what we have here.
And that facilitates it going through the syringe.
And that's what's in here right now. So now, what is this syringe?
This is a feeding syringe. It doesn't have a adapter for a needle, so
I see. So
and it has a bigger barrel, so you won't get clogged up.
So you have all that one. Now you're taking the knife in this teal duck, which is I think one of the best ducks. You're going to put the knife in and follow the breast all the way through, and you want to make sure that you're not going out the outside. You're just cutting a pocket right here.
Exactly.
And then I'm going to do the same thing here again, right under that breast, following the breastbone.
Correct.
Now you're going to go ahead and
you take the syringe.
See,
get
now
in the same hole. I watch the breast.
Watch the breast. Oh, look, see all that stuffing down in there? One more on this side.
And it really keeps it moist, keeps your breast moist.
Right. It's interesting how it pops up in there.
Yep.
Up there it is. So that's all nice and filled now with the seasoning, and that's going to just cook and flavor. Now we have 3 of them already done here, so I'm going to put it down in the pot like this. We season a little bit, just a little bit on top as it goes in. Now these have been cooking from it. Now where did this recipe come from?
Well, just over years, we all love to duck hunt.
Right.
And it just, as you know, it takes a little work to try to figure out a good recipe to make ducks taste
right.
Well, so we've been working on very different variations for a long time.
Well, I tell you this, as I say, what makes this good, and you can use this process with any duck, mallard ducks, teal,
geese,
wood ducks.
Even geese.
Even geese. A good speckle belly would be great.
Right.
So now that we've kind of browned them nicely, the first thing we're going to do now is deglaze with a little wine, or do you put onions in it?
Well, you want to make sure all your birds are breast down.
Nice and brown. Oh, they all got to be breast down. So let's say this one's been cooked enough at this point.
Yep.
Now, so you deglaze first, right?
Deglaze with a little red wine.
And just kind of get that moisture in there.
Yeah, you don't have to use much.
Okay. All right, and then some stock goes into it. Now, would we put any additional onions or anything in or not?
You don't need to.
Okay,
you have enough in that breast that's going to season that bird, perfectly.
And the bird inside, out, in the cavity is all seasoned with the Creole season. Now, what about the stock?
Now, after the alcohol boils out of your wine, you add stock, and you want to keep a level of fluid in your pot about halfway up the bird.
About halfway up the duck. And then you're going to boil and then constantly be adding back and forth. The birds will
You never want to boil the moisture out.
That's right. Now right here, Chip, once it's cooked, for how many hours does it take to cook the birds?
Some cook in about 2 hours, some take longer.
Okay, and y'all, and when the backbone starts to separate from and that backbone kind of pulls out, it's going to look exactly like this, because this is what it looks like when it's done, and I can't wait to get in there.
The backbone starts protruding.
I can see
You don't want to cook them so long that they start falling apart.
Well, look, I tell you what I'm going to do. You can look at them. I'm going to walk back here and eat them. How y'all doing back here, guys? I got my duck, huh? I got mine. Thank you, Chip. Very nice.
You're very welcome.
All right, huh? Bobby, thanks for playing my theme song there. Hey, good looking. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, y'all, when we left just a minute ago to go see that beautiful teal dish, wasn't that a great dish? Putting all those seasonings, and he said, you don't need anything else, and he was totally right. That was a great, great dish. I'm finishing up. If you can look right on my little skillet right here, this is the reduction of that great sauce. I'm going to add a little bit coconut milk. Remember, we're doing Thai chili here, so we put that nice chili paste, a little lime juice into it, just like that. Stir it around, and once it's well blended, I'm going to pour it right over the duck. If you can take a look right in the center here, I think you can see how beautiful that duck is, all nice and sliced and golden brown, just wonderful. And I'm going to pop just a little bit sauce on top of it of the chili. Oh, an idea? Whew, Lord.
Oh, boy.
That's an Asian duck gumbo right there, y'all, huh? Oh, that's a beautiful chili dish. Y'all going to taste that in just a little while. It's absolutely beautiful. Well, you know, my next dish is going to be in honor of Dutch Prager. Now, Dutch, you and I have been friends for a long time, right?
Yes, sir.
We go way back. And you gave me this recipe from a friend. Now, where does the name Dutch Treat a la Pat comes from, the name?
Well, Dutch Treat was the name of my bay boat, and Pat is Pat Delaney, who we fished with and hunted together for quite a number of years.
So the dish came
Unfortunately, he's passed on, so I named it in his honor.
Well, and here we are cooking it today, so what a great tribute to Pat. Let's give Pat a hand, y'all. Let's remember him here. Okay, I want y'all to take a look at the platter here because I have a nice little wood duck here. I'm going to put seasonings inside. Now, don't be bashful. Don't be bashful. See, I know you're saying that much. Was that salt? All right, that was salt. We need a little bit extra inside. Remember, the bony structure of the duck on the inside will keep a lot of that seasoning in and then contribute to the finished sauce. I'm going to put some garlic, just a little bit, 3 cloves. Now, I mean, it's a small duck. A little bit onion on the inside, which I really like, too. You put all those great onions, and you have the idea. You're going to put all of this into it. Now, I have some of the ducks already done, so I'm going to move this out of the way. Because one of the experiments that I did, you know, there's a lot of research that goes into a big show like this. What do you think? We just come up here and walk up and start thinking? A lot of research. So my able culinary assistant and I went out and searched out a couple of pantries of Louisiana's top camp cooks to see what they would do to make this dish better than the original. So Amanda, bring out our research here. This is the pantry of the camp cook. Right here. You just lay that right down there. Thanks for putting it on a silver tray, too. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, y'all, take a look at this. I want you to take a look at this. I went into the pantry, and I found that every one of them had cases of mushroom soup. Cream of mushroom soup. They just, just right there. Oh, yeah. Without this, no camp I went into could cook anything. Hold on here a second. Hold on a second. I got another one here. Cream of celery soup. You know what I mean? Good stuff, huh, Doug?
Oh, yeah.
Huh? But you know what? Let's not laugh about it. This is actually a great white sauce with celery in it, right? So we would have to make the white sauce with butter and cream. The camp cook, they don't have time for that. Who's going to open the beer? Huh? Who's going to open the beer? And they're all experts. Every one of the camp cooks experts at doing this. You know what I'm talking about. A little beef stock was in that pantry. What else? Hog crackling. Oh yeah, you crush this, and if you run out of fish fry, you just bread it with this. That's what they told me. Oh yeah, absolutely. Even all of their vegetables, no need to worry about peeling potatoes. Look what God gave us. In a can right here in the pantry. And for dessert, have no fear. Cases and cases and cases. Here y'all go. Y'all take it right there. There you go. Anyway, so all of these things went in to make the duck. These actually go into the dish, and it came out wonderful. Look at here, all canned. Green beans, potatoes, onions, and carrots, all down into the pot. Go ahead. Ooh. Huh? Well, I can tell you one thing. As we went, I forgot the beef jerky. That's for you. The beef jerky is yours. Anyway, that's the camp pantry, and out of those ingredients comes wonderful, wonderful things. So all of this would just crank up in a nice way. Of course, once the ducks are brown, all of this goes in. A little stock goes in. What kind of wine, John, would I put in this pot to enhance the cream of celery soup?
So I would suggest that Rouge Militaire.
This is going to cook how long? About
3 hours.
About 3 hours. You want to cook the wine out, you know. And when it's finished, y'all, I want you to take a look at what it looks like. I'm going to put just a little bit. Oh, what a beautiful dish. The Dutch treat a la pat in honor of my good buddy Dutch Prager's good friend, and what a wonderful dish that is.
Well, thank you.
I want to thank both of you for being here with us today. Thanks so much. Thanks to all of you for being here. And thanks for y'all joining us in the swamps of Louisiana. And remember that man's love affair with hunting is not about the kill, and it's not about the skill. It's all about the fabulous feast after the hunt. We're going to see you right here next time on A Taste of Louisiana. Thank y'all. Right? Hey, Bobby. Y'all come on.
After I was so good to you, you were so cold. But I won't cry, I won't shed a tear.
All right.
To purchase the After the Hunt cookbook by Chef John Folse, an After the Hunt t-shirt, or program DVD, call the number on your screen.
Doesn't it look good? Good wild number right there. Good. Huh?
That I found you out in time. It's still a whole lifetime, baby, and it's all mine. But I won't cry.
Give a piece of Jimbo out there.
I did my part when you were here. When you were here.
That goes right there.
When you were here.
You want it? Yeah. I'm going to get some.
Funding for After the Hunt with Chef John Folse is brought to you by the Baton Rouge Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. Day is dawning on the Mississippi River and the sun is shining on Baton Rouge. Attractions, shopping, food, and Southern hospitality you know and love. Go BR and go brighter. And the Foundation for Excellence in Louisiana Public Broadcasting. Our mission is to tell Louisiana's story to the world. And by the Louisiana Department of Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. Vacation planning guides are available at louisianatravel.com. You wait all year for your vacation. Don't sleep through it.